I guess we're doing some voiceovers. Just went to edit the video. Some of my clips don't have sound. Love it.
We just finished my car. It gets on the two-step in like 4 seconds, which is perfect, which is way better than it was before. It's all the camshaft. That camshaft, not good for my setup. I know what you're thinking. These would be perfect to put on the truck. They're already cleaned and nice, but nope. Taking this pile of junk out because, you know, looks like it just came out of the dump and I want Peg to feel right at home when he's watching my videos. Oh boy, what are we working with here? Might have to take these to the car wash. Oh, it's still good, right? A little taste test. Yeah, the rings were like 30 thousandths. You know the duct tape's in there when you gotta get pliers to pull it out. I mean, really, if I just, it should just, oh yeah, that's coming off easy. We're just using some oven cleaner here. I don't even know if this is what you're supposed to use. Cuts through tough baked on food and grease. And that's literally grease, so why can't you use that? I'm already sick of washing these things. I'm gonna see if I can borrow a parts washer. I did get the majority of the shit. Like, that looks way better than, I just don't wanna do the second one like I did the first one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the valves out of these things. We're gonna build a box. By build a box, I just mean, this will be head number 1, and this will be,
Right now, every $1 spent at boozerlifestyle.com gets you 1 entry for this Everlast 185 welder. Comes with your TIG torch, everything you're going to need to start welding, except for the bottle. boozerlifestyle.com.
this will be head 1, this will be head 1/2, you know, because Peg's only got half a leg. Just to be fair, because I know it's hard when people have 2 of something, and you just, it's just gonna be like that. And then 1, 2, 3. So I'm told this is a thing. I've never actually tried it myself. No time like the present, I guess. Nope. Maybe it's gotta be a metal hammer. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Speed racer over here. Yeah, they look like not good, so I'm gonna relap them in just a little tiny bit. It's another one of those what ifs, like, what if we just put new valves in it? What if we just bought new cylinder heads? What if we just did this? What if we did that? What if we just woke up at Peg's house with no pants on? What would happen?
And this is what the stupid thing looks like after about 40 minutes of washing it by hand like a little peasant that I am. So I decided I'm not gonna do the second one like this. I'm gonna find a parts washer.
Now we've got 2 very capable, very fast street cars. Like, why wouldn't you take one of those, Kyle? Nope, taking the Beetle. Basically the perfect daily beater. These are, yeah, these are for the truck. These were the spare heads. Oh yeah. That I had to clean up. The one that, quick little cleanup of the valves here. We're just gonna use this little wire brush. Nothing really fancy, just, you know, we'll use electricity. That's kind of fancy, but nothing more than that. Anyways, quick little cleanup. Just try not to get this surface because we're gonna lap that surface back on the head, and you know what? Good to go. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Clean that out a little bit, just not too much because I don't even know what too much cleaning is. Little wooden wand wizard right here. You know what? We're gonna move to the piece of hose technique. Put a piece of hose in your drill. Put that piece of hose on the end. And now when you pull on it, it's not gonna use the weight of the drill. It's gonna use the hose. Now the weight of the drill isn't pulling on the valve anywhere.
We've got all the valves lapped in these heads. They're over here. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the springs out of the other heads because we need the springs to go in the new heads because they're still good springs.
You don't need to be fancy taking them out. Look at that, mint. Little bendy magnet, if you ain't got one of these, you're missing out. We don't really care about these heads, so whatever. Come on. Come on. Come on, Johnny. How did one come on and not the other one? That's where we get that monster lift right there. Putting that big beefy NA cam in it. Just kidding, it's like a stage 1 turbo cam, which is like basically stock. I like having things I don't really need to care about. It feels so satisfying to do things the way you're not supposed to do them sometimes. It makes me feel bad. Now we'll grab our half a head here. Gonna pull out all our valve seals. Grab onto those suckers. I don't know where all this oil came from. I guess most of the oil in an LS lives in the heads anyways, so that's probably where it came from. Got some new ones here. Those will just basically pop right into place. I'm just gonna give them a quick little tappy poo. We're not gonna impact these ones on just because I don't want to strip the threads out of the heads. If you can't get the keepers to stay in place, if you put grease on them, they'll actually stay in place. These ones have a little tiny bit of oil, so I think they're gonna be fine. One done. Basically, we spent so much time today and we accomplished basically nothing. We're almost back where we started. Yeah, let's do some more. All right, let's pull our skirt off, see what's underneath. Her wiener's smaller than mine, we can work with that. We had to go ahead and put our heads on now, so head gaskets. Lifters are already in, I forgot about that. That makes everything way easier. Literally, no matter what LS build you have, these head gaskets are gonna work because they're just the best. 7 layer, I do believe, something like that. LS9 gaskets. Maybe it stands for 9 layers. I don't know. I'm not about to count them. Before we put that on, don't want to forget these. Don't want to forget these. These are little dowels. These things actually help align the heads. They just go right here. Mind the mess. It's not yours, so leave it alone. Spray gasket. I feel like I just did this the other day on my car. Crazy, LS engines are just going together everywhere. Hey, Dan, DD Speed Shop, do you want me to LS swap and turbo something for you? I can do that. Send it over to my place, it'll come back with a turbo, promise. And you'll notice me mentioning Dan at DD Speed Shop and Peg at Zip Ties and Bias Plies a lot, and that's because, you know what? We're like the Canadian Backstreet Boys, except not as straight. Front of the engine, front of the gasket. Yes, I got a turbo wheel laying around. It's because I'm part owner of a turbo company, True North Turbos. What do you think? We should take all the bunk one of these, put them on the wall over here, and just start a wall full of compressor wheels. Drive it in there, it'll be fine. Now you don't want to put these too tight. They're just a hand tight majiggy. They're made to bottom out right here on this piece, and then, you know, that's as deep as it goes. I know some of you guys can't reach the bottom, and that's okay. Just try and damage the sides a little bit while you're trying to get there. You know what? I never did find that rear cover. I really don't know where I put it. As you can see on this one right here, this one's all the way in, but you can see the threads are still like above the deck, so you could jam that down further and possibly blow out the bottom of the block. So, like I said, just hand tight. These intake gaskets are a little bit weird. I've never seen this style before, but yeah, they went over the studs. Like that. Something like this. I guess that helps keep them in place, huh? And then, oddly enough, the ones on the block didn't have washers, which my ARP ones have washers. How about that? How about I don't believe in your fake ARP shit?
Well, at some point in my journey, I actually torqued the heads down. I don't even have a clip to find it, so I must not have filmed it. But I torqued the heads down, we lubricated the tips of the push rods and the valve stems, put the rockers on, torqued those down. Those are one thing that I will always torque now after having a couple of them pull out. Not used to pulling out. And we got the valve covers on. I did realize that a bit of our GoPro footage was shot a little bit high. So the next day I actually came out and I lowered the GoPro a little bit more to try and center what we were looking at. I'm new to this GoPro thing, and you know what? I actually like it because I feel like I don't have to stand behind the camera, work the camera, and film at the same time. I can actually just do what I need to do, and the GoPro just like Kyle vision. So here we go, day 2. In typical Kyle fashion, out here in like a muscle shirt that says flexed and the sleeves fell off, you know, because I have a couple muscles, but not a lot, so I haven't been to the gym in a while. Now remember, every dollar spent at boostlifestyle.com gets you one entry to win the Everlast 185 welder. You need that, because we're about to TIG right now, and I'm gonna show you why it's important. As you can see, we have 2 broken bolts in this thing. So we're gonna weld the washer to there, weld the washer to the bolt, and then put a nut on the washer, and hopefully those things will come out, because easy outs, not that great. Now that we've got a washer half welded on there, we should be able to weld the nut on the washer, and then hopefully it'll come out as a unit. I say that in utter hopefully. Now it is coming out. I'm just using like these regular pliers, so there's not actually that much tension on the bolt. Usually when you weld to a steel bolt in the aluminum head, it does loosen itself off, so they're never usually in there that tight. Now the problem is I welded one of my only washers and nuts to this one, so I've got to find some more for the other ones. I forgot I got these bad boy fender washers here, and those are gonna be perfect because the hole is small enough that you're not actually gonna nick any of the aluminum and cause one of those like explosions. So you weld in the middle, and then the nut just welds to the washer. It'd be easy. The second time's gonna be way easier than the first time. Idiot. Step 1, got our ball welded. Step 2, melt that into the washer. Step 3, take a nut, weld the nut. I weld the outside to the washer. It's just stronger than welding the center because you can't really get the penetration down at the bottom. Lied, this one 100% not easier than the last one. But it's coming. I'm only rounding off the bolt a little tiny bit here. But at least if it breaks off now, it'll be outside the engine, I hope. Hey, that's 2. You just want to stuff these, like these 2 finger holes, at least around the one that you're doing, because it does spatter from time to time, and you don't want that little welding spatter down like in the engine you just built, because that's happened to me before. Clean up our tungsten because that looks like bird turd. And yes, I do TIG weld everything. I don't even know how to MIG weld. So what I've learned is that I'm gonna want to bubble this up a little bit just till it's the deck height, and put a little ball on the top. Then this washer slips over that little ball, we'll melt it into that, and then weld the bolt onto that, and it usually comes out. Oh, this one's coming easy cakes, baby. Look at that. Oh yeah. It's like I was born to do this. Obviously, it's not this easy when it's inside the truck. So if you break one inside the truck, I don't know what to tell you. You could probably do the same method. It's just, you gotta do it with one eye and one leg. Watch this real close now, because this is gonna be like my favorite part. Black Sheep Industries turbo manifold. We don't actually make these anymore. We don't actually make these anymore just because there wasn't enough demand for them. With a bunch of companies making like a cast iron version of these things, nobody wanted a legit nice stainless one that's not gonna rust or anything on you. So we end up discontinuing it, but this is one of the few, and it looks real good. It's funny, I've got some leftover bolts here, and I can't remember if they're from the last engine or from this one, but oh my god, I put a piece of hot metal on the table and I melted in it. That's probably what happens to plastic, Kyle. But yeah, extra bolts, which is good because I need one for this header right here anyways. Once again, we're making a bolt for our crank pulley because I don't have one. I can't find my other one. We're just gonna weld this bolt to this bolt, and this thread is actually an old crank bolt, so it'll be just long enough to get it started, and then this bolt will drive it in. Just gonna put that in there to hold it. I'm gonna weld that piece up right there. Should be easy, right? Red Bull. Oh, I love it. I wish I could keep this GoPro on while welding, but I gotta put my welding helmet on. I just need to find a washer big enough. I hope everybody's bolt bin looks at least this messy, or else screw you. If I don't have a washer, oh, that washer might be big enough. It's still hot though.
Will this thread now? Barely. But then after this bolt is in, we can pull it off the engine stand, put a flex plate on it, and then drop it in. Motor mounts are all switched over. Yeah, a little bit of RTV right here because nothing seals this bolt on the crank. But this RTV, I guess. I like to call it retive for short. Probably ends up making it longer, but it's okay. Well, what I did last time was I just took a wrench and a bolt and I stuck it.
That's gonna slip.
Upwards with it.
A little bit better, but we're still putting. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What?
Holy crap.
That wrench bend?
It went like it was over to here.
I'm just trying to torque it.
Just, it went out of focus. Focus, you piece of crap.
It didn't focus.
No, it didn't.
Oh, that's okay. We got our 200 and something foot-pounds there.
200 and some.
Yeah, I'd just go to like 250 or something.
Or something.
I'm pretty sure Dan wore hog joggers today just so he wouldn't be called out for not wearing hog joggers. Hog jogger racing.
Little hole.
Pervert Dan.
As you can tell, I had to take the radiator out to get the clearance enough. I'm just gonna come down a little bit, hopefully see if this balancer clears. Oh. No spark plugs in this either. I don't have any here, I don't think. Pretty close now though, I think. Like, we can go down right there. Okay, now we're this far. I just want to make sure, like, we got to go backwards because we got to get it over the cross member. Yeah, it's in there. We just have to bolt up the intake, the trans, the converter, pull all the accessories back on the front, put the radiator back in, you know, just a million other little things now. But it's back in there, and hopefully it never has to come out again. So you might as well just burn that list because
Oh, we'll never use this
we'll
again.
never use that again.
No, no.
Not for anything in here. Nothing.
Not a thing.
So I'm not overly impressed with how long the converter bolts are, so I think I'm gonna wait and get some converter bolts. Because you gotta think, this is probably the thickness of the flex plate. This is probably the thickness of the washer that we have to have as a spacer, so there's only 4 threads in there. I'd like to at least get 1 more thread on that, so I'll get some converter bolts tomorrow. Dan's putting the motor mount bolts in. I'm gonna get the intake manifold put on, and then we gotta bolt this motor mount in, put that exhaust manifold on this side, and then the crossover pipe can go on the back. Except before I put that, like, I gotta use a chair to get up there.
Want to set it back on the ground?
No, because then I have to jack it up again tomorrow.
Still asking the question.
Just gonna plug this stuff in the back.
You gonna put that other bolt in? All I can think is set the leg of the stool down on the exhaust wheel of the turbo. Let it go bad.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. It's inking out, but I don't think it's that strong.
Hey, Nick!
Yeah, you know that turbo that you just
put together?
yeah.
What the frick is going on there?
Flippin' hell, Dan. I don't know. I just thought I'd mediocre swear for you. Like a halfway swears.
Yeah. Not like a serious one that might offend someone.
Yeah.
Engine's in there because we're like the best. All the accessories are on, most of the wiring is run. This crossover pipe still has to go on, but the converter bolts have to go in more importantly. Tomorrow we'll get some converter bolts. We'll get some turbo bolts so we can put our new turb skis on there. And it's like this close from firing up. So next video, we'll fire this bad boy up. Make sure to go to boostedlifestyle.com for all your merch. Every $1 spent over there gives you a place in my heart. I mean, gets you a chance to win an Everlast welder. Peace easy, get heavy.